Hello right bugs, it's Jade. Welcome to a Conan Exiles update video. Timestamps are there. Let's go through some of the stuff we're covering today, including a brand new patch on Xbox, PlayStation and the PC today. It should have gone live on the Xbox and PlayStation already, and PC is about live now. It should have gone live in the last hour or so. It's got a bunch of fixes, a bunch of improvements to thralls. It's really the first attempt at passing over some of the stuff and criticism that the big mounts update had. We're also going to be talking about what Funcom are doing in Istanbul, Turkey, and exactly what's going on with meshing. You guys might know that I moan about this a lot in other games like Ark. Well, it looks like it's appearing a little bit more in Conan Exiles, but it does seem that the developers are aware of it, and hopefully it means they're going to nip it in the bud before it gets out of hand. And of course, new map info. Look, let's face it, we're all going to be asking that question, and I'm probably the most guilty for hyping up the fact we've got a new map coming, but there is still no real big news about what that new map might be, how it's going to roll out, when we're going to get it, etc. As ever, I'll be the first person to tell you when the new map is launching, and hopefully being shown you guys, hopefully one of the first. So don't forget to like, and if you're playing on a PS4, I have a Conan Exiles server up until the end of February. It's light PvP every other weekend, full base destroying, and then boosted rates in between to build back up. Let's go, it's Exiles news. So this time of year, it's not just PAX West, PAX South, PAX East, PAX North, PAX Globe, PAX this. It's other places that do have gaming conferences, and there's a big one going on at the moment in Istanbul. If you was hoping possibly to see some glimpse of something new and exciting that Funcom are working on, no. It's going to be just showcasing Conan Exiles as it is at the moment. Maybe their brand new DLC, obviously the Riders of Iboria, and obviously their big update. Some of the social media team are in there at the moment, and it looks like they're having a bunch of fun eating lots of foods. I was kind of hoping we might see some information about what's coming, but I'm reliably told that there's nothing new on show. We're not going to get a glimpse of a new map or anything like that. But anyway, I'll throw it out there just in case you was a bit excited or you'd seen some of this. If there is any changes to that and we do get any news, I'll be showing you guys for sure. Okay, let's get out of the way. A cursory look at some of the stuff happening now. I've seen a few complaints about undermeshing. Now, it happens in every single game. It happened back in the day when I used to be a Gears of War fan. You think about some of the Call of Duty maps, it's happened there occasionally. Players will find ways to get off the map or under certain pieces of the terrain. In Ark, it's a massive problem. It's been a massive problem for years. Conan Exiles has had similar issues, but not to the extent that other games have had. Certainly, it's not become such an issue that it has to be a movement started by mostly me giving loads of grief because developers are doing nothing about it. It does seem that there are definitely only one or two spots where it's definitely more hot. And while I don't necessarily want to link or promote any of this shit, it's still important that we highlight it's going on. And also highlight that the devs acknowledge stuff is going on and they are got it in hand, or they will be approaching some sort of fixes for it hopefully in the future. So I've seen a fair few replies on some of the forums to people that are highlighting some of this stuff, saying that they're well aware of some of these hotspots and they will be looked at in the future patches. So don't despair. If you know of any undermeshing spots, absolutely go and fill out a post on the Funcom website. Make sure you put it under the right platform, and that's the best way you can help determine whether or not someone's cheating. As we'll see from the patch notes, they have implemented some meshing hotspot fixes already in today's update. Alright, let's get into the patch notes, and update wise it's about 1.8 GB on the PlayStation 4. I think it'll probably be a little bit bigger on the Xbox, but hopefully not much more. So there's only really one big key difference for PC, Xbox and PS4. PC now has the same implementation that rolled out in December for consoles, which is you can't see players in the player list anymore. Now that's a big component. Some people look at that player list, go, right, you're going offline, you've been gone, I'm going to go in offline raging now. And so Funcom have made it that if you chat, then your name will appear in that little list after for about 5 minutes. Now this has all been added to Xbox and PlayStation and private servers. So if anyone knows about it on G-Port or what setting it is so you can actually expose and show people's names still, I hope there is that option, because it'd still be good for private servers to know when people are on so you can go chat to people. It's not just used by cheaters or by people just trying to offline raid. But there you go, PC have now got that exact same patch. They're in line with Xbox and PS4 now. Breaking it down, performance and stability, loads of patches, loads of stuff causing loss of memory, so it's going to be improved on all systems. Lots of building exploits, lots of exploits regarding logging out while climbing, attribute points, exploits that allow players to loot bases that had not been loaded onto the client. I've seen that one complaining in my comment section that you can literally see other people's bases and inside. They have done some fixes already for them under mesh locations and methods already. Fuse times for explosive jars to limit the abuse of some macros. And exploits that allow javelins and orbs to be thrown through walls. Glitched arrow stacks could be refilled. And the construction of floating bases all fixed. Doors are now aligned to stable fence gate frame and stable fence gate frame pillars. Combat. Now, combat's a big one. There's been lots and lots of complaints still about the new system still being a little bit unwieldy. But stuff to do with certain weapons having heavy attack hit properly now. You couldn't attack after unequipping a torch while performing a directional attack with a one-handed weapon. Battle standard no longer loses functionality for the player who rejoined the session in the proving ground zone. And killing your own pet no longer grants experience points. Accuracy 40 perk now correctly works when shooting both players and NPCs. Now this is one of the big ones, the thralls and AI. The followers should now correctly consume food on listen servers. They'll consume the food slower. Rot-nosed King spawned inside a rock and was unable to move from there. Frost Giant Bodyguard can no longer access accuracy related perks. Horses can no longer dive. Oh no, why not? Ownerless thralls will now decay over time as intended. Fixed an issue that allowed certain NPCs to be killed without retaliation in the Wine Cellar dungeon. And Bloodstains should now be removed correctly from pets. Also an issue on dedicated server restarts where pet levels were reset. And fix an issue where followers would sometimes equip the weapon of the owning player. Balance updates. Rusted chest pieces now provide the same resistance for cold as other parts of the rusted set, and they've rebalanced damage for quivering arrows. General bug fixes. Loot chests should now replenish correctly for other players if closed improperly. Lots of in-game assets had rubbish textures, that's fixed now. Night vision potions and equipment now working again. Falling damage wouldn't reduce the mount's endurance, well that is happening now. Instances where players could ride a horse in first person perspective camera. The tyre lands journey steps should now unlock properly. Stable collisions are now accurately reflecting the model. All seeds and flowers should now correctly have the same stack size. Issue where the Kari soldier male head, visible gaps between the textures on the chest area of the female character, and fix a skinning issue with the Potain heavy armour. There's a bunch of animation cinematic fixes. I'm not going to go through that. That's just general stuff that hopefully it's been fixed. So you'll notice it if you've noticed it before break-in. If it's fixed now, it's fixed now. Right, some of these are a bit more important though. Interacting player armor should no longer be presented in unconscious players' inventories when interacting with them. Fixed an issue where clear key binding option became non-functional after clearing a few key bindings when using the controller. Fixed an inconsistency between functionality and keywords of building pieces from the Riders Arborea DLC. Got more contextual information while riding now. A redundant horse health bar was appearing when you received damage from its rider, that's fixed now. Diet tabs are now filled, they're not empty. Pet and full strength attribute bonus is now properly showing up in the attribute section of the companion stats. And for them grammar Nazis, I can't stand grammar Nazis. I don't care how you spell a word or what you write a mistake. The YouTube comments, no one gives a monkeys. But in the game, I guess it's more important, so they've fixed various typos and grammar. And as they say here with a nice little joke, they've been allowed to experience sunlight for a whopping half an hour. GG gens, GG. Putting a food item that is about to expire in a slot on the shoulder bar no longer permanently dyes the text in that orange colour. Various messages about mounting with certain weapons not being mounted or unsupported. And serverless should no longer show 0.0 population for all servers. Also some audio fixes and such like. Now, good news for PC players and me particularly, because hopefully it means that I'll be able to test some of this stuff out a bit quicker and easier. They've got a test live client. Remember, Conan and Funcom do this. They have proper testing of all their features. Maybe not necessarily as long as some people like. I'm talking to you, Firespark. But it's there. It's better than a lot of other games in the same genres. And so normally you have to choose to opt in or opt out. Well, they've added a fully downloadable version. So it will just be running in tandem. You don't have to switch between different betas. And to be honest, I thought this had been there always or a big long time. So maybe I'm reading something that's a bit old. As you can see, I have got two versions of Conan Exiles. I've got the update version and I've got the normal version. Now, obviously that does take up a lot of GB. But it does look like also that you don't have to do it that method. You can just keep switching via the beta properties here. So you can just switch into Test Live if you don't want to have to download a massive game once more. But just worth pointing out. So yeah, a functional, practical bug fix update. Maybe nothing too exciting or too sexy, but nevertheless, it's good to see that Conan is on the ball. And from now until whenever, I guess we're going to be hoping for some news about a new map. But remember, there is a lot more to come. They will be rebalancing some of the thralls. Hopefully, they will be adding some new perks and attributes or specific ones to the thralls and the followers and pets as well. Remember, the first stage of the mounts update was the first stage. So in the future, we are going to see other mounts, but they're going to be specifically tied to combat. So it's not a case of just riding every single creature like Ark. And hopefully, like I said, we are going to see some really specific out there builds that you can get with certain thralls. Conan Exiles pretty much had a renaissance over December. As you would expect, the big mounts update brought a bunch of people back into the game, rising up to 21,000 players, one of the highest mounts they've had all year. And they've sustained it for the whole of January too. So it looks like people are really excited, or they're really sticking with the game at the moment because they're enjoying all the different stuff that it's got in it. So kudos. Often with updates like these, you'll often see a big rise and then just a quick drop soon after. So to keep it running for 2 months, that's pretty decent. So good stuff for Conan, good stuff for the long-term future and health of the game. I imagine it's very much the same case on PS4, probably even more people playing. Xbox obviously is a little bit less because they don't have the game for free or haven't had the game for free like PlayStation 4 did. If you're looking forward to some streams in the future, it looks like they're going to be planning that back up soon, but they're obviously working on lots of behind the scenes stuff. Oh, exciting. Could see some little details popping up, hopefully. So there we go, a little patch to tide us over. Hopefully big things coming soon, some reveals. Big year for Funcom. There is a new map coming. We are going to be getting some new ways to play the game by the looks of things, and they're continuing supporting the first part of their big update, the mounts update. We're going to see more improvements and hopefully some more mounts in the future. For everything Conan Exiles, keep it locked on my channel, and I'll see you at Bags for another one soon.